Okay, hello everybody. This is Munkee again, and this seems to be the last weekend of ESO beta. So they did some changes to the crafting. Looks like this may be pretty final. So I'm gonna do some just run through on the crafting interface, and if it changes, I'll either do an update or a reply once launch comes up. But this will at least give you a good idea of what you're going to be looking at. So going down the list, you go up to your crafting station. This is your little tooltip here. This tells you everything you need to know about crafting, refining, all that stuff. If you hit Alt and you skip that, I don't know how to get back to it, but if you're watching this video, you won't need to. So anyways, it starts you off in Refine. Then you have Creation, Deconstruct, Improvement, and Research. Refining is refining raw materials. Refining and Deconstructing used to be both under Extraction tab. I don't know why they split it up. It was nice kind of having only 4 tabs and everything having its own little thing, but I think people were complaining about it being too complicated having like tabs underneath tabs or something. So I don't know. I understood it, so I don't understand the issues. But E and R when crafting are kind of your buttons. So you hit E when you're moused over something to put it in there, and then you hit R, and it tells you how many you get right here. You can increase this number through skill trees, which I'll show you here in a sec. But now that we have some jute here, I can go through and decide what I want to make. Now, clothing can make light armor and medium armor, so cloth and leather. So if you go through here over to the medium, it tells you medium armor, so I can also make leather pieces as well, which take rawhide. Rawhide can be refined from rawhide scraps. You need 10 of any raw material to refine for a chance of, I don't know if you can go over with skill points, but I bet you could go over getting 10 back for a 10 stack. So anyways, going down the creation tree, you've got the item you're going to make, the material you're going to use, and then the style you're going to put it in, which I'm Argonian, so I only know Argonian. But if I take that off, there are the styles of all the races. So you can go through, and if you're a Nordaman, you would use corundum, and that's kind of the material you need one of to make any of your armor or weapon pieces. So we can see here we have a lot of different stuff you can learn in the world as you're looting stuff. If you watched our starting area tips, looting everything does fill your bags fast, but if you don't mind throwing some stuff out, it is handy, especially backpacks and large sacks on the ground, because you have a chance to get a racial motif, which is an item. It's a blue item. It's a book, and essentially it's a book that teaches you how to make that race's armor and weapon sets. I've gotten my record so far. I think I got 2 in the starting area once so far, and I figure those will probably be worth some gold when you get out. So may want to keep from learning them, or at least get to a crafting station where you can see these kind of little previews to see if you like the look of it, or just save it. I think they're going to be worth a lot in the beginning days, depending on their drops. So anyways, you would need a book to learn any of these additional styles. But because I'm Argonian, I just need 1 flint to make 1 item. Now down here are traits. Traits are things that basically it's on any item you can have. For instance, if we look at the tooltip here, by adding this, I'm adding resistance to critical hits onto that item. Now that is not an enchant, that is a trait. It's different. There's 3 things that can go on an item: an enchant, a trait, and a set bonus. This right here covers the trait. Now, how do I learn to put on traits? Because we see here I don't have any of them learned for this item. By checking have knowledge, it only shows me what I can do. So what I can do is, I don't really have anything to deconstruct here, but basically this would show me all cloth and medium armor I have in my inventory, and I can pull it apart for parts. Improvement, get into in a second, but research. So as we scroll through, here we go. So I have researched a trait on these boots. that gives an armor enchantment effect. So I know that if I make light boots, I can put a trait on them. So I can come over here, blah, 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 and boom. So if I had a bloodstone on me, I could make these boots right here. Now, they're level 1. How do I increase that level? Okay, so I got a trait. I've got my style. So now I just add materials to it, and it increases the level of the equipment to a certain amount. I think 15 is the cutoff before the next material is needed. In the beta, I've run into some of those materials, but I haven't really dove into upping everything, but I would imagine it's just a matter of doing this and scrolling over to the flax, because we have some of that in the guild bank. So that's the basis of making all your items. Researching, let's see if I have anything in my inventory that I can research. The way to tell is as I'm scrolling along, there's no numbers next to these guys right here, so I don't have anything that I can research there. Now if I come over here to blacksmithing, let's see if I have anything I can research here. So with blacksmithing now, you'll notice I have weapons and apparel. Ooh, here we go. So I have on me a pair of boots that have this trait or this trait on them that are researchable. So where it says researchable, I'm going to hit R, and look at that. Increases skill line experience with this armor type by 6%. So I can hit E, research the trait. It's going to take 12 hours to learn that trait for heavy boots. And I can only learn one research at a time. Now, I really want to jump into the skills, but real quick, I'll just cover this. This is improvement, so how do I make a white item green, a green item blue, a blue item purple, and a purple item legendary? Basically, I would add what I want to make, and then this would require honing stones. Now I have a ton in the guild bank I'm not going to go grab, but you see every time I increase this, I get another percentage. So I have a 100% chance with 5 of these to make this a green item to improve it. So if I only had 4, I got an 80% chance. I usually go on an 80% chance if I don't have 5, unless of course we're dealing with a superior item. If you're dealing with a blue item trying to make it purple, you may want to go for that 100%, because if you don't get it, it destroys the item. So basically you would break a blue item trying to make a purple, and then you lose all those mats to make it purple. So essentially what I would say is build up once you get past dwarven oil or on any crafting. Once you get into upgrading to epic, go for that 100% chance. Other thing is it may take 5 honing stones. It's probably going to take like 8 or 10 dwarven oil, and I haven't even made an epic yet, and I would imagine it's even more of those and even more of the legendary items. So the way to get those is by deconstructing items in your inventory. So you just put it in there, hit R, and you get some stuff back. So let's see here, we'll deconstruct this, hit R, get some stuff back. So I got obsidian. Obsidian is used to make the type of item I had, or style of item I had just deconstructed. Those little parts like obsidian and flint can be purchased from the vendors here. Vendors, depending on, I think, their race, is what they carry. So this guy is flint, but he doesn't have like Bosmer stuff. So it's kind of interesting. I haven't really dug into the nuances of what the vendors hold based on their races and stuff like that. I usually recognize that eventually, but it just doesn't seem very important. It is handy to know which vendors have what, though. So over here on woodworking, we can see clothing and blacksmithing were pretty much the same. Woodworking, pretty much the same. You have apparel as shields. Woodworking weapons are your 4 staves, 3 damage, 1 resto. So deconstruction works kind of the same way. Put it in, pull it out, and I only got an obsidian, no wood back. Improvement, same thing. So if I wanted to improve that, I would go here and I would try and increase that. So you see, I'm only getting 15% per, where I was getting 20% per on the last one. So it does require more stuff as you go along. I have some researchable stuff here. So woodworking is pretty much the same. Now, where it starts to get different is over here in Alchemy. Now, if you've played other Elder Scrolls games, pretty much the same thing. Let's just put it all in a bowl, mash it up, sip it, and see what it does type of thing. So, obviously, I've used a lot of Blessed Thistle, so I know what it does. So, let's figure out if these will work together. So, I put those in there with E. I hit R, and there we go. I got spell power. And I've learned that, and my inspiration is going up. They call this inspiration for crafting skills. It's experience when you're fighting. Cool thing about the inspiration here is you get it for extracting and creation, and I believe deconstruction too. I think on this beta they're kind of messing with that stuff a little bit, but I think we're going to get it on deconstruction as well. So the big thing about alchemy is your solvent decides the level of the potion, and your ingredients decide the potion that is made. If you want more details on this, you can, pretty much read any guide on any Elder Scrolls as far as mixing ingredients. I would bet that there's going to be a wiki up that says the effects of all ingredients soon enough. But the best way to do it is just go out there, pick a bunch of stuff, load your bags with items you've picked, and then come back and just do one big load at a time. I've done 2 alchemy runs on this character, and I'm level 7. And that's pretty good. Getting past level 6 allows you to start making the next level items as far as like the 20 plus. So in here is enchanting. Enchanting's kind of unique. I really like this. Basically, each of these shapes represents a part of a phrase. Now, I have 1 circle. Circles are rare. In the world, I forget what these 2 are, but when you see the little totems, if it's red or orange, it's circles. I usually just go for circles because at this point our guild bank is so loaded with everything else. We need circles, otherwise we can't make anything. So essentially, I know because I've used this that this circle translates to base. This one is health. This one is magicka regen. This one is develop. So basically, each part of the phrase, so this is base, and the circles kind of decide the quality of the enchantment that you're doing. So you can see here I've got a legendary and an epic, all found in the starting areas, by the way. Just some serious farming. And so I'm putting in here, let's see here, physical harm and develop. So develop physical harm is base. So let's see here. Adds 1 weapon damage for jewelry. Enchants go for armor, jewelry, and weapon, depending. And the different effects vary tremendously. You can see here, this is only some. We have a lot more parts. I just didn't have any circles to do anything else with. But basically, once you've learned all the phrases, then you can kind of figure out by putting a phrase together what the enchant is going to do. You're essentially utilizing these as part of a sentence to say, do more damage, or do more physical damage, do more harm, absorb magicka, things like that. And depending on what part of your armor set the enchant is going for is kind of the effect. There's going to be a lot more on that. I haven't focused a lot on enchanting, especially on this last beta, because they did change some stuff, and it seems like enchanting is going to take a little more thought than just extraction, refining, and waiting 12 hours for research. So basically, that's kind of the gist of crafting. Now, ways you can boost your crafting. I was looking at enchanting here earlier because I wanted to see when I could start using those different qualities of items for enchantment. So basically, when I hit enchanting level 6, I'll be able to bring this to 2 out of 4, which will allow me to make to utilize the next level as far as like superior, epic, all that stuff of gems in my crafting. If I go here to blacksmithing, I've got a point in the hireling. This is pretty cool because once a day I get mail from this guy with blacksmithing materials. I've increased my extraction, so when I'm extracting ingredients out of ore, and I'm hoping this still applies to deconstruction because it all used to be under extraction. But basically, I get more stuff back. Now this right here looks to be a 1 out of 3, so as I level, this will allow me to put more points into it. This is really handy. Now this applies for blacksmithing, alchemy, clothing, and I believe woodworking, yeah. So Keen Eye highlights materials in the world around you. So as you're running past, if there's something within 20 meters, it'll glow like misty white in the middle of a field, so it's very noticeable. You don't miss your materials. We can see here when you just put a point into woodworking, you start to level the amount and the quality and the level of goods that you can make. So skill points, there's going to be a lot of them, but I would not recommend trying to do every crafting on one character. I would say, like, for me, I'm going to focus on probably clothing and enchanting for my first character, and then when I make a heavy armor, I'll make him the blacksmith, that type of thing. So I'm not spreading my skill points too thin, and I'm able to really maximize and really specialize myself. Usually my goal with crafting in games is to make myself as valuable as possible to the other gamers, and whenever I see people advertising to get stuff made, I like to be the guy that already knows how to make it. So that's usually my goal, so I'm going to be focusing. Now, the game is designed to let you do whatever you want to do, but I'm sure there are a finite amount of skill points, and so I wouldn't recommend blowing too many into crafting if you plan on doing some serious leveling. So you're going to have to find a nice little mix. Luckily, it looks like experience-wise on all the different things, put gaps in where you can spend points on other stuff and you don't feel like you're missing out. So anyways, the game comes out April 4th, I'm sorry, and early access is March 30th. We can't wait to see you guys there. I am at Munkee, Munkee, and we're going to be on Alderi Dominion for our main characters, and we will be running a guild. So if you guys want to take part, want to have some fun, want to play, want to kill some stuff, or just, be assholes in a digital world, hit me up in game. Thank you.